So we are going to calculate the Subarray sum equals K. So we are going to find all the subarray that has the sum equals to K. So we need to first let's calculate the accumulated sum ending at each index I. By doing so, we can easily find out the sum of the subarray I to j by calculating the accumulated sum of j minus calculated sum of I. So and after calculate the accumulated sum, and then we iterate over the array I, and at each index I, we can check the calculated sum if the sum minus target, if sum minus target exists. If it exists, then we can count number of occurrence of that number. So let's write down the step. Okay, so the first step is to calculate accumulated sum at each index I, and then let's iterate over months, and for each num, and for each sum check the occurrence occurrence of value sum minus target. If sum minus target has occurred 2 times, then we can count 2. For let's add some test case. Suppose that we have 1, 1, 1, and 1, and k equals to 2, and then let's find out the accumulated sum. So accumulated sum will be 1, 2, 3, 4. So when iterate at 1, we check if 1 minus 2 exists, that is -1. No. So go to next value 2, and then we check if 2 minus 2 exists. 2 minus 2, which is 0. Also we should add 0 in the beginning, because the accumulated sum without adding any value is 0. So when we are at 2, we check if 0 exists. Yes, it is. And so how many zeros are there? There are only 1 0, so we add 1. And add 3, we check if the occurrence of 3 minus 2, that is 1, and check how many 1 are there, and there's only 1, so we count 1. And then we are at 4, we check how many 4 minus 2, that is 2. How many 2 exist? There are only 1, so we count 1. Okay, so let's start coding. So we need, the first step is to calculate the cumulative sum at each index I. So cumulative. Okay, so let's say we have sums. And the sums, the first element is the non-zero, and then we calculate, and then we iterate from 1 to number of nons minus 1. So let's iterate. Let I equals to 1, and I from 1 to nons.length I plus plus, and then we calculate, and then we push the sum, the sums dot push sum. Let's use the easier way. Let's pre-allocate a new array. So array length fill 0. Okay, and then at each sums I equals to sums I minus 1 plus the nons of I. So we get the accumulated sums. Okay, and then also we need a count. We need a variable called counts. That is used to count the occurrence of sum. So let's say counts is an object. Okay, and also we need a sum, that is 0, and then we iterate over nums. I from 0 to nons.length I plus plus. Okay, so let's accumulate. Sorry, maybe we don't need to calculate the sums. Okay, we can just calculate the accumulated sum at each step, and we don't need to pre-calculate. So the sum will be sum plus nons of I, and then we check if the sum minus target, which is K, is in sums. If we have seen sum minus K before, if we have seen before, we just number of occurrence of that value. So we also need a count. If we have seen before, let's add the occurrence of that value. So count plus sums of sum minus K, which means the value number of occurrence. Okay, and then we and then we keep adding the value. So let's record the value, the occurrence of that value. So sums of sum equals to sums of sum. If it never occurs before, just add some default value 0 and plus 1. So now we record that value has happened once. Okay, and then it will keep going, and then we can return the count. Okay, so let's go through the algorithm with the test case. So we have 1, 1, 1, 1. So the first step, we have sum that is equals to 1, and check if 1 is in sums, and there is no occurrence of 1. Also, we need to add 0 to the to the sums, so that because 0, no value, which means 0. So let's say 0 we have seen once. Okay, so we can check if the value we have seen before. If the value has seen before, if that is the case, let's add to count. And then after that, let's